So Green Pies comes home in second place. Vamo will be third ahead of Jay Hartnell. Just looking to see whether he got the fastest lap. No, it's gone to Winfield, in fact. So Winfield collects the points for the fastest lap. I don't think Vintage is going to get it unless he's got some blistering pace as he crosses over the start-finish line. And no, he won't get it. So it's victory for Rosie in the feature race in Monaco. Congratulations. But there's still one more race to come in the sprint. And if you have just joined us, we do apologise for the interruption due to some technical difficulties. But we're back in now. So your final race result then is Rosie, who is the winner with Green Pie second, Vamu third, Jay Hartnell fourth, Swanshanks fifth, Winfield sixth, Vintage seventh, and Leppy in eighth. And we'll start the sprint race from reverse grid pole. Slow Coach was ninth and the last of the finishers. Wild Dog, I think he did cross the line but was not classified. Redstone Dirt retired, as did Orange and Gamma in the pits. Winfield got the points for the fastest lap. So the 40 championship points for Rosie moves it on to 148 points. She moves up to second in the table. Now Winfield, who was fourth coming into the event, sixth place gets him, I think that's 16 points plus the 2 for the fastest lap, which takes his total on to 98. And Swanshanks, who came into the round on 72 points, he gets 18 points added to his total, which puts him on 90. And the weather is dry for the sprint race. 15 laps it'll be. There's no mandatory pit stop involved. It's just lights to flag. And so the drivers will be beginning their formation lap very, very shortly. And so the drivers will go off for their warm-up lap. We'll find see who's starting on what in terms of the tyres. All of them are starting on the softs, which is no surprise. I think Orange and Gamma's car is being controlled by the AI, as is Redstone Dirt's car. I think Slow Coach is the same, to be quite honest with you. I think there needs to be a rule in place in terms of if you do retire from the race, you need to stay for the sprint as well if you are competing in that. We'll see how this one goes anyhow. Leppy lead in the field round. Rosie starting 8th. Green Pie 7th. So Leppy, through Anthony Nose, will take his position on the grid for the start of the sprint race to wrap up the evening for tonight. It's a shame we couldn't get any more numbers than this. We do hope for a bigger grid next week. So 12 cars lined up on the grid one last time tonight. Leppy on reverse grid pole, Vintage alongside. So the 5 red lights will come on shortly. Here they go. When they go out, we'll be racing for one last time here in Monaco. It's lights out and away we go for the sprint race. Leppy gets off the line well, as does Vintage, as we watch the other Cheroos there. Oh, Swanshanks go to the outside of Winfield but can't make the move stick into Sandervot. So Leppy in the lead with Vintage second. It's Winfield ahead of Swanshanks. Vamu is in 5th. Ahead of Jay Hartnell and Green Pies. Rosie's still in 8th place. As watch Green Pies dive into the inside of the HWA as he goes through Casino Square for the first time. And there was contact further ahead because Vamu has lost places through all that. Green Pies trying to make a move on the Cheroos of Swanshanks as they go through Mirabeau. And Green Pies gets past. Contact made with the Prima in front. So it's getting a bit personal on the first lap as to watch them go round. So Leppy in the lead with Vintage in second place behind. Vintage not quite slowing down the car, but he did so. Rosie, can she get past some drivers with DRS when it does get enabled? So we expect this race to be done in around about 25 minutes time. And across the line at the end of lap 1, Leppy in front with Vintage second, Winfield third, Green Pies now up to 4th place, Swanshanks 5th, Vamu 6th. Rosie's still in 8th place and Wild Dog in the pits for a new nose section. That could well be his race run, to be honest with you, unless we do get a safety car. And Green Pies dive into the inside of Winfield, and now he's trying to go. Oh, there's contact! Contact between the Dams and the Prima as they go through lows. But Green Pies luckily was able to get past. Winfield won't like that one bit, and now he's been overtaken by the Cheroos of Swanshanks as they all go through the tunnel. So Vintage behind Leppy. And now the drivers are coming around to complete the second lap. Leppy will post a new fastest lap, I should think. Although that's taken away by Green Pies, who's in 3rd place behind his teammate. So Green Pies pretty much take 3 now in terms of his overtakes at Mirabeau. That seems to be his favourite corner to get by drivers. He's got by his teammate. And Vintage just lost the position to Swanshanks as he was letting his teammate through. Rosie finally getting past Jay Hartnell into lows. And she goes up into 7th place. DRS has been enabled now. Won't use it in the tunnel because there's no DRS zone there. It'll be on the start-finish straight. And now they all get through to back. Leppy holding up Green Pies, but Green Pies will have the DRS. Leppy won't do because there's no one in front of him. Swanshanks gets the first time penalty of the race. 3 seconds. The top 2 go through the last turn. Rear wing open on Green Pies' car. Athene's going to take the lead as they go through into Sandevot. Swanshanks with a new fastest lap, 1 minute 23.2. So Wild Dog with a time penalty and there's contact. As Vintage. He's got Vamir and Winfield behind him. As Rosie thinks about a move to the inside. That's very risky, very audacious. And as she gets past, she makes contact with the ART and she falls behind Jay Hartnell. So Rosie falls back a position. That was way too ambitious. She was very late on the brakes and couldn't get the car slowed down in time. And Leppy didn't get the best of exits coming out of the Neufeld chicane, which is allowing Green Pies to temporarily pull alongside. Can he do so into the swimming pool chicane? Trying to distract Leppy as best as he can, but he's got Swanshanks next to him, and Swanshanks goes off into the runoff area as he tries to get through. Now the drivers need to be careful. It is on the yellow flags at the moment, so Winfield has to go back through again on Jay Hartnell, as Jay Hartnell got past him on the yellows. And now Rosie dive into the inside as he goes through Anthony Nose. And Swanshanks broken front wing there. Whilst he was trying to get past Green Pies. And Leppy's off at Sandevot. I don't know if those two came together, but Leppy's off into the runoff area at Sandevot. So Green Pies now takes the lead of the sprint race in Monaco. We're on lap 5. 11 laps remaining. Rosie needs to get past Winfield here. Now with no one in front of Winfield at the moment. Well, there is, but by some distance. Rosie may think about going for it. And Winfield able to hold on to the position for now. So it's a Dams 1-2. Rosie behind Winfield, trying to hold her off as best as he can. Rosie going to the outside at Loris Gas. She tries to do the switchback, but there just isn't enough room. So Green Pies with a new fast as that. Rosie will use the DRS to her advantage and try and get a move done here into Sandefort. Does she go for it there? She does go for it, but her attempt has allowed Jay Hartnell to get back alongside. Doesn't go through there. I think that was wise of him to stay back through, because otherwise that would have been an almighty accident. Swanshanks in the pits for a new nose section. Swanshanks, does he rejoin ahead of Wild Dog? I think he will do. And someone's gone for, I think it's at the moment in sector 2, is that Wild Dog, who is ripped off his front wing again. And that could be his day over, to be honest with you. Green Pies posting a new fastest lap. Now Rosie trying to get through on Winfield again. She may try and do the switchback, but she's got a time penalty now for exceeding track limits too many times. Wild Dog continuing to get penalised. Swanshanks struggling to get the car slowed down. Wild Dog continues to hit the wall. Just get the car in the pits, Wild Dog. No need for any more shenanigans. It's continuing to carry on. Jay Hartnell getting in front of Rosie again, but he makes contact with the wall. I wonder if his car may be damaged from that. As Leppy tries to get through on him. Side by side as they go through. Jay Hartnell's still ahead. Riding the curves, but he goes for a spin into the wall. He makes contact. Now he's just going to try and get the car turned round again. So Hartnell into the pits. And the soft tyres ready for him. I think Sunshine's going to post a new fastest lap here. No, not yet. 1 minute 23.1 is his personal best. Fastest lap of the race is a 1:21.8. So it's going to take quite some effort here for Swanshanks to get that fastest lap on the tyres he's on. Well, Winfield is behind Vamu now, with Rosie closing in again. As they fight over third place, but Winfield has got that time penalty, remember, so he needs to get past Vamu as soon as he can. He won't do it into Sandoval. Rosie with a new fastest lap, 1 minute 21.8 for her. 2 more championship points going her way as it stands. So Winfield thinking about a move on Vamu. And someone's gone for a spin. Is that Wild Dog again? It is. He's pointing the wrong way as well. And Swanshanks getting in front of the AI cars. Just going to see what his fastest lap was over the race. It was a 22.3 just set, so he's finding some time with those new tyres. So Rosie thinking about move. Winfield trying to get past Vamu ahead. There's just no way through for her. Wild Dog back in the pits. Is that for good this time? Or is he going to try and... He's going to put some super soft tyres on and see if he can go for the fastest lap. So Green Pies 6 seconds in front now of his teammate Vintage. Vamu holding up Winfield and Rosie, who are both still squabbling. And Jay Hartnell back in the pits again for HWA. Damage to his front wing again. And super soft tyres going on. Sunshanks with a time penalty for track limits. Only running in 7th place anyway. Now his time penalty will drop him behind Slow Coach. His car is controlled by the AI at the moment, so I think Swanshanks will bridge out enough of a margin to keep hold of it. And Rosie finally through on Winfield. So Rosie gets past the Prema and she goes up into 4th place. Now she's got Vamu in her way. Oh, there's contact between Rosie and Vamu. That came out of the blue though, and that's allowed Winfield to go through and up into 3rd place. There's been a coming together between Rosie and Vamu. That may well have been accidental. But either way, that's allowed the Prema to go up into the top 3 on the road anyway. But as it stands, Vamu would still go back up into 3rd place once those penalties have been applied. So Jay Hartnell trying to unlap himself from Vintage. Cole will be ghosted as he's a lap down, so Vintage won't need to worry about letting him through. And he goes through. Vintage not finds it out too much. Jay Hartnell's going to try and get back on the lead lap. But Green Pies is another 10 seconds up the road. And making contact with the wall like that will only harm his chances. And there's been contact made somewhere. Couldn't quite tell if it was just on the exit of Portier. Wild Dog continuing to struggle at the back. And another front wing damage for him. So Wild Dog back in the pits. And I think that'll be his day over, to be honest with you. Unless he's got another set of super softs ready for him. So Rosie still battling with Winfield over 3rd place. Winfield cuts the chicane slightly. Rosie not able to find a way past. Oh, Wild Dog has hit the barrier as he was exiting the pit lane. It doesn't affect Green Pies though, who's now on his penultimate lap of this sprint race. And Rosie's through, finally, on Winfield. So Rosie goes up into 3rd place, which is where she's expected to finish now, as Vamu is, he's 3 seconds behind her at the moment. And Wild Dog's just gone for a spin there at Casino Square. The Green Pies continuing to lead. The gap is now 12 seconds. So Green Pies is about to start the last lap of this sprint race. And Rosie now penalised again for track limits. Her penalty goes up to 6 seconds, which means as it stands, she would fall down to 5th place. So Green Pie's going past the MP of Redstone Dirt, and he'll come up to lap the other 2 AI cars of Orange and Gamma and Slow Coach. Wild Dog continuing to get penalised. It's now on 18 seconds worth. And his whole front wing's completely gone. Swanshank's also penalised for track limits, although that won't affect his race finishing position. So Green Pie's making his way through the traffic. Through to back. Through the swimming pool chicane. And Green Pies comes through. Loris Gas and Anthony knows for the last time. Green Pies is going to win in the Formula Racing League in F2. He wins on the streets of Monte Carlo. Vintage will come home in 2nd place to complete a Dams 1-2. And further behind, Vamo's been penalised on the last lap. So Rosie will, at the moment, keep hold of her 3rd place. Crosses over the line now, goes Rosie. Winfield will just miss out on the podium. And Vamo's penalty will have cost him. So Rosie 3rd, Winfield 4th. Vamo is in 5th. Leppy will come home in 6th. More points for him. Swanshank's the last of those on the lead lap in 7th place. Slow Coach, Orange Gamma and Redstone Dope 8th, 9th and 10th. I'm not sure if they'll keep those positions because they were controlled by the AI. Jay Hartnell classified 11th, and Wild Dog is just be so desperate to just get over the line in the car limp and just collect some points after a difficult day's work. Green Pie's also got the points for the fastest lap, so that'll be good for his points total. So that's 30 points plus the 2 from this race itself. Rosie collecting 19 points for 3rd position. So that's her points tally continuing to go up. So here's your final race result from the sprint race. Green Pie's the winner ahead of Vintage and Rosie in 3rd place. Winfield 4th, with Famo 5th, ahead of Leppy, Swanshank, Slow Coach, Orange and Gamma and Redstone Dirt, Jay Harnell and Wild Dog. The fast lap points went to Winfield, in fact. Well, it says it's Winfield, but I think that'll go to Green Pie, so that's an error on the screen. But looking at the results then, Rosie won the feature earlier on. That got her 40 points plus 19, so she's got 59 points from tonight's showing, so that puts her total on to 167 points, which moves her in front of Jackson into 2nd place, which means the gap at the top between Argent and Rosie, the top 2, has come down to 29 points, going into the next round of the series, which will be in Albert Park, Australia. We hope to have better numbers next time out, so do stay tuned to then. Next week, same time next week, 8:30 PM British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.